May the 3rd, Woodland Song. Mixed oak woods, even close to the centre of London, now resonate with birdsong. Of the more commonly heard songs, the blackcap is probably the one that stands out the most. It may now have become a little easier to separate it from the rarer garden warbler. In April, the problem was compounded with short subsongs or just snatches of song. Only when both birds are heard singing together does it become much easier. Now in full song, the blackcap usually delivers a wavy song in 5-second intervals, with matching pauses. It is a pure, rich flow of clear, fluty notes, usually with a poor ending. He is not shy and can often be seen singing from the outer branches of a tree. If he is seen, he may have a raised crest and a distinctly swollen throat. It is the loudness and richness of the song, its wavy outline, and the peppering of fine, clear notes that give it away. The song of the garden warbler, in contrast, is more of a random warble, with the wavy outline, without the wavy outline, and with no clear notes. It is always vigorously delivered for much longer than the blackcaps, perhaps for up to a minute in length. There are no harsh notes, and it can seem more scratchy than the blackcaps. Where there are patches of dense woodland near water, as along the Lee Valley, the blackcap may be heard sometimes duetting with nightingales. Chaffinches are commonly heard in May, but now they may be joined by willow warblers. For many, the birds look identical, only being separated by song. The willow warbler tends to be slightly brighter in colour, with paler legs, and a more prominent eye stripe. Its song is variously described as a descending cadence or liquid arpeggio going down the scale. A trickle of descending notes with a disappointing ending is a less romantic but equally useful description. The first half of May is probably the best time to listen to the surprisingly extensive range of calls made by great tits. Of the 50 or more different calls they have, many can be confused with the coal tit, marsh tit, chaffinch, or even goldcrest. The familiar spring call of teacher teacher is easy enough, but there are other two-syllable calls such as tisso, with slightly different emphases. It can be sung much more softly and more rapidly than usual. There is also a metallic ping-ping and an almost human cooey, as well as a whole series of 3-syllable notes. Some of these have the accent on the first syllable, for example, see but, and some on the second syllable, but see. Sometimes both a 2-syllable and a 3-syllable call are run together. Then there are even more complicated deliveries of several notes in ringing succession. For example, a repeated tili, or a mixture of notes with a slurred ending. For example, ping ping zzzz. On the top of all this, there are also local variations, with birds using some calls in preference to others. Then there are the rapidly repeated bell-like calls, as well as a whispered private song, when the male is in the presence of a female. After attempting to decipher some of these, you may even be rewarded with a snake-like sharp hiss if you get too close to a brooding female. 2 other birds recently arrived from Africa, but now rarely heard, are the redstart and the wood warbler. The redstart likes old parks with mature trees or rows of willows bordering a river. It has an unremarkable jolly song, lasting between 1 and 5 seconds, delivered perhaps 5 or 6 times a minute at most. It is the short, abrupt ending that usually gives it away. Its even rarer relation, the blackstart, prefers stony derelict buildings where it delivers a grating warble. The wood warbler is worth seeking out for its famous long, high-pitched, shivery trill. It has been described as a spinning coin which eventually settles, or a descending silver shiver. This highly memorable song is often delivered in grand groves of mature beech trees. Luckily, the bird prefers to sing in the lower branches, although by no means assured of a success. Dagenham Chase is worth visiting for redstarts and Hainault Forest for wood warblers. Wherever there are large amounts of concrete rubble and deserted buildings, it is also worth listening out for black redstarts. Other songs of note to listen out for in woods this month are the delicate calls of long-tailed tits, as well as chaffinches and goldcrest if visiting pine woods.